No, the right way to wait is with expectancy. In other words, I know my set time is coming.
When it comes to healthcare, seconds can mean the difference between life and death.
What is the benefit of giving up on yourself, of not stepping out on life and taking life on? What is the benefit for you? What's the plus in that? It's one of the things I had to ask myself. So I didn't want to make any mistakes. I wanted everybody to like me. I wanted to be perfect the first time I did something. It's not going to happen. You're going to make some mistakes. You're going to hurt some folks' feelings. You're going to create some enemies. Whenever you decide that you want to begin to take life on, you got to ask yourself, how long am I going to allow this to hold me back? I like what Zig Ziglar says. He said, fear is false evidence appearing real. That is an illusion that we create in our mind. It is a state of mind that can be changed. So let's look at how we can begin to take some steps to restructure that fear.
All right, I gotta say this, I gotta take my time because I wanna make sure you get this. If you only have 24 hours in a day, your success is dependent upon how you use the 24.
All right, guys, welcome. 9 o'clock show, December 28th, 2016. Guys, I gotta tell you, there has got to be a better way. There has got to be a better way to build wealth. There has got to be a better way to get ahead. There's got to be a better way to build a financial future of residual income. And by that, I mean truly passive residual income. Now, how does one get there? How does one go about doing that? That's what we're here for at the Wealth Plan. That's what we're here to do. That's what our message is. That's what we're looking to promote. That's what we're looking to send out. We're going to be teaching people how to get out of the rat race that is the corporate 9-to-5, the online MLM, the online affiliate marketing space. All of these different things. What we're going to be teaching people is how to build over a 90 to 360 day period an exit plan for themselves so they have more time, so they have more freedom, so they have more growing cash flow. Now, this is about a discipline. You hear me talk about the wealth discipline a lot. You hear me talk about it pretty much daily. There's a reason for that. We are reprogramming, we are re-imprinting what's in your mind. What it is that you focus on daily, how you perceive money. It's a tool. You've heard that before, right? Money is not currency, it's a tool. Currency is something entirely different. Currency is a measurement of value within a marketplace. Money is a tool by which value is transferred. That's it. Now, I know this is really abstract, and a lot of people aren't going to be able to wrap their heads around this at first. That's why you need to be consistent. That's why you need to be engrossed in what we're doing here and expanding your minds. Whether it's a book, the 9 o'clock show, combination thereof, whether you're reading a blog, whether you're following a mentor. Guys, this is what we need. There is a whole vast universe out there of information on how all of this works. And what we do is we focus on where those markers begin at the 9 o'clock show. The Wealth Plan program, this platform is designed to open eyes. This is not a be-all, end-all solution. Without action, there's no action. I know this is a crazy concept, but until you're doing it, you're not doing it. Don't talk about it. Be about it. Okay? Get up in the morning, turn around, make your bed. Start small with every day. And as you build, each of your daily repetitive success tasks get bigger and bigger and bigger. Do you have a hard time keeping socks out of your living room? Right? Guys, these are goals. Stop leaving your socks in the living room. I've been trying to do it for 25 years. I'm not there yet. I have my shortcomings too. We're all human. But if we take stock of what our shortcomings are and we make a commitment to improve them, then we can start to talk about real substantive change. But guys, you have to remember something. It starts from within, right? That's where it all begins. And if you're not willing to go forward and make that your daily commitment, that you're going to make those changes, you're never going to get there. It starts with making your bed. It ends with getting the socks out of the living room. No, actually, it doesn't really end there, but you get the point. You need to take stock of what's important. Where are you falling down? Because the slightest failure in your given day, your failure to accomplish one little thing can grow in your mind into from a molehill to a mountain overnight. You are your own worst enemy. Without the enemy within, there is no danger from the world around you. If you are convicted to giving 110% every day, it doesn't matter what you accomplish and what you don't accomplish. And it doesn't matter what people think or say about what you did or didn't do during the day, because you know you made the commitment to that 110%. You made the commitment to be everything you could be, do everything you could do in the allotted 24-hour period. Did you sit down on the couch and just throw your hands up in the air and spend an hour watching the ceiling fan go round and round and round? Did you turn the TV on and watch Maury? Did you do any of these things? Who knows what you did? Who knows what you didn't do or what you did do? Only you genuinely know. When you start to become academically honest with yourself, that's when that internal change will start to happen. And then the things we talk about in terms of the monetary growth will become real. They'll become more than just an abstract in your mind. You have to allow that transition to happen. How do you do that? You do that by engaging in small success patterns every day. You have a short list, right? It starts with two things. I'm going to make my bed before I leave my bedroom, and I'm going to go to the bathroom. And you start there. 1, 2, 1, 2. Did you accomplish this and that? Is that the order of operations of your day? Then once you've got that to where that's on autopilot, then you add a third one. After you go to the bathroom, then you're going to turn around and you're going to get in the shower before you do anything. If you're a morning bather like I am, if I don't have my morning shower, guys, I'm useless till 11:30. It doesn't matter how much coffee I pour down my neck. If the water doesn't hit me and wash the sleep away, I'm in a fog. I'm in a daze. That's why it's absolutely mission critical that I get out of bed, I make my bed, I turn around, I go to the bathroom, I take care of that, and then I get in the shower. You know, a lot of people make fun of me that really know me. They make fun of me because I get in the shower and then get out of the shower and then change into my gym clothes and I go work out only to turn around and have another shower. But the reality is, if I'm not in that success pattern, if I'm not in that foundational blueprint of wake up, bed, bathroom, shower, gym, my cadence is off. I'm out of step. How many of you seen somebody marching out of step? How many of y'all seen? Doesn't that look ridiculous? You got everybody left, right, then you got the other guy who's right, left, and it's just like, what the hell are you doing? Somebody smack this fool, please, because we look like idiots. Actually, no, I'm kidding. But you get the point. If you break that rhythm, if you break that cadence, you're going to lose time putting yourself back into forward momentum. Guys, The 7 Habits of Highly Successful People, great book, right? But you know what I'm going to do tonight? I'm going to actually tell you what's in the book. I'm going to tell you what the 7 habits are. How many of y'all know what the 7 habits are? Do you know? How many of y'all know what they are? How many of y'all know what they are? Be proactive. Begin with the end in mind. Put first things first, second things second. Always think with a win-win attitude. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. Then you're going to synergize. And then the final habit of the highly successful, they're in a constant commitment to renewal and improvement of that success imprint throughout the day. They make their bed faster. They make their bed crisper. They get to the bathroom faster. They get in and out of the shower faster. They get done what they need to get done. They stop wasting time. They make this commitment to preserve time. You know, they'll start to brush their teeth in the shower, for example. They'll start to pee in the shower. I know it's gross, but there are people who do it, right? They think this is going to improve their flow. This is going to improve their momentum. They're going to go and they're going to do these things, and they're going to try them, they're going to do them, they're going to try them, they're going to do them, and either their body will accept the pattern change or reject it. And guys, if you start to backslide, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with backsliding. There's nothing wrong with going the other way. But understanding that this change begins from within, that is the first step. Now, once you've started down that road and you're doing that, now we can really start to talk about the important abstracts, right? Your budget, your finances, your money, your cash flow. That's what we're all here for, right? I mean, we go anywhere and have a kumbaya session at 9 o'clock on a weeknight in Facebook. We go anywhere and get that. But then once you got this in your head, once you start down this road, now the changes that we talk about in the abstract of your finances, your budgeting, your disciplines, your spending, your savings, pay yourself first. Pay yourself first. Why the hell would you not? Why would you not? So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're paying yourself first. But all of these changes, remember I said earlier this week, I said, have you noticed how there's 25 CEOs playing musical chairs in the top 20 corporations in the country? It doesn't matter what they're doing. It doesn't matter how they're doing it. It's the same success imprints in their day. They're doing the same thing, whether they're the CEO of McDonald's or they're the CEO of Merrill Lynch. At the end of the day, it's still fundamental management of the sale and proceeds of widgets. That's why in economics they call them widgets. That's why in accounting they call them widgets. It doesn't matter what they are. When you're talking about business administration, it doesn't matter what it is because the fundamental blueprint to manage a company is identical, regardless of what it is. And there are three phases of any given company. You've got the startup period, you've got the growth period, and then you've got the maintenance. The growth and maintenance period, and then you've got the ceiling. And those you fit into one of those three brackets in your company, in any corporation, right? And that actually breaks down into a monetary value. If you are working with a national corporation, the first startup period is from 0 to 5 million in gross sales. Then from the next one, the maintenance and growth is from 5 to 50 million. Then if you're in a small business that's not going public and is limited to one nation state, your cap is generally at $100 million a year in sale amounts less than $500. And that is an economic truth, that is an accounting truth, that is a business administration truth, that is beaten into your head in business school, that will never change. It has not changed in over 150 years of academia. It has not changed in 150 years of business, and it's not likely to change in the next 150 years. These are the facts of how this world is framed. This is what you have to understand. These are constants that you have to accept no differently than the language you speak. You don't get out of bed and wonder if you're going to fall through the floor of your house. You take it for granted that the floor will hold you. Why? Because it's held you every day up to now. Why would it stop tomorrow? Why would it be any different when you go to bed tonight, wake up in the morning, that the floor is no more the floor than it was when you went to bed? The same thing is true when you're talking about building a business, when you're talking about starting a business, building a business, growing a business, maxing a business, and selling a business. At the end of the day, it is the same path. It never changes. It will never change. And you have to understand that is a constant in the business world. No differently than the air you breathe the floor you stand on, the water you bathe in, to the bathroom you use. When you sit down on the toilet, are you afraid the toilet's going to break underneath you? Are you afraid that the toilet's going to explode in this mass explosion? Of course you're not. Why? Because you know you're not depositing sodium in water. Why? Because you know you're not sitting on a brick of C4. Why? Because you know the toilet is a safe space. And I don't mean like wearing a clothespin. You know that when you go to the bathroom, it's a safe place for you to go to the bathroom. You know this. You don't question it. Business is exactly the same. You have to be able to identify what phase of a business you're involved in. And you have to understand that each phase of that business has a different expectation of work, has a different expectation of return, has a different expectation of risk, all of these variables are fluid throughout this lifespan in business. That is what so many people fail to understand and fail to grasp when they're looking for a way to make more money online or offline, work from home, go get a second job, any of these things. How many of you have gone to work for somebody and you put the work in and you worked and you worked and you worked and it came time for a paycheck and they said, oh, we don't need you anymore and we don't have the money and so here you go. Or they gave you a paycheck that bounced. How many of y'all ever had a paycheck bounce? How many of y'all ever been there? Anyone? Anyone? Right? Not fun. Certainly not fun. But it happens. Now, if you are in a startup business that is less than 30 days old, you would hope that they're capitalized and they're not banking on sales in that first 2 weeks that you're working there to pay you for the time you're working there, right? You would hope that they have the ability to pay. And if they don't, they better disclose to you, hey, look, this is a commission-only type job, so you're going to get paid on what you do, and that's it. That's what it is. Now, knowing that, but if you go to a company that's been in business for 25 years, and they come to you and they say, okay, we're going to hire you at $50,000 a year, and 2 weeks later you get your first paycheck for $2,382 after taxes, you take that to the bank and it bounces to the moon, there's a problem. We're going to have a little chat with accounting. We're going to call payroll. We're going to call HR because this doesn't fly. But you have to know where the business you're working with is in the life cycle. You have to understand what the inherent risks are. You have to know what you're getting involved in, right? Now, the same thing is true in your personal finances. The only way you're going to know that is if you bring in all your bills and you organize them and you plug them in and you establish a budget and then you establish, and now that's step one, and it doesn't stop there. Just because you wrote down a budget means exactly butkus. It means nada. It is only the beginning, because if you have a budget in your hand and you're over here spending and you never stop and say, this is what I'm spending, this is what I wanted to spend, these numbers match, don't match, you're selling yourself short. You might as well not have even bothered writing a budget down in the first place. So many people don't understand that it's more than just writing it down. Yes, that's the beginning, but if you're not looking at it moving forward on an ongoing basis, if you're not keeping track of the accounting on an ongoing basis, you are selling yourself short. You are sabotaging your wealth plan. Because remember, guys, if you can't measure it, you can't manage it. You have to make sure that you're managing and measuring your finances. Okay? You've got to make sure that you know what you're doing with your finances. You've got to make sure that you know what's going on with your money. You've got to make sure that you know where you're going to be at the end of the month. And you better make sure that you get there. And that's where the wealth discipline comes in. When you go to the store, do I need to buy Haagen-Dazs ice cream? Probably not. Okay, do I need to buy ice cream? I don't know. Do you have a dinner party coming up that calls for it? Do you have some special occasion that requires it to be in your house? Maybe, maybe not. Okay, make the determination. If you have somebody coming over and you're making an ice cream chocolate bunny kind of thing for dessert that you're going to put, I don't know, right? These things happen. Don't ask. It's a long story. The ice cream bunny was, don't ask. So guys, you have to remember, there may be a reason for an extra expense. There may be call for it. Are you having an event? Are somebody coming over? That's fine. Budget for it. Plan for it. Make it a point to plan for it, right? Do you need the new iPhone every time it comes out? Ask yourself the important question. Does my cell phone work reliably currently? T-Mobile customers notwithstanding. Does my cell phone work consistently, accurately, and well? Do I need the new one now? Or can I wait until the next new one comes out and then get this one at half price? If in fact you have to have it at all. You can't have money and spend it too, guys. That's the bottom line. So as you go through and you're building this and you're doing these things, applying these principles and evaluating what you spent versus what you budgeted will determine how successful you are in your new success patterns, right? Be proactive. Habit 1. Be proactive, right? Right? Now, to be proactive in terms of your budgeting, in terms of your finances, take the time tonight, if you haven't already, take the time tonight and gather up your bills. Take stock of where you are. If you don't know where you are, how do you possibly intend on creating a plan to get where you want to go? So if you haven't done that yet, do it now. If your people haven't done it now, get with them and find out why not. Guys, you are the answer. You have in front of you the answer. Is it boring, bland text? Yes, it is. Why? Because people were watching videos. Why? I have no idea. But in print, you can go back to it and refer to it. It never changes. It's right there. It's always there, and you can go back and refer back to it. If friend is your uncle, friend is your aunt, you got the answer. It's all there. It's all there. So put your budget together and then move forward proactively building income. What kind of income are we looking to build? Guys, if you don't have a linear income right now, you need to get one. Whether that's working from home, filling out surveys, working from home, posting ads, working from home, selling something, working from home, customer service, working from home, sales, or going out and getting a job, whatever it is, you cannot survive economically without cash flow. Think about it. Think about it. Without cash flow, guess what? You're dead in the water. So if you don't have a cash flow, you need to fix that. Now, if you can't find a cash flow, guess what? I have a news flash. You've already got a cash flow. You have a linear income. Actually, you have a hybrid. You have a linear residual income with the affiliate program here at the Wealth Plan. What does that mean? Well, linear income is a true trade of time for dollars, right? You work an hour, you get paid $10. You work an hour, you get paid $20. Whatever your rate is, you work an hour, you get that much money. Done, dusted, it's over, it's all done, right? Linear income with the residual is you do the work once and then you get paid on it residually. That is the ideal linear income, where you're leveraging the time to capture a sale with an ongoing revenue stream. This is where the whole construct of the money's in the list. Heard it? How many's heard the money's in the list? This is what it means, guys. This is why you have what's called a loss leader funnel. How many of you have heard of a loss leader funnel? You know what a loss leader funnel is? You're going to put money into it to drive traffic to it to capture a sale. Now, the amount of money you put in to capture your first sale will invariably be greater than the amount of money you received in that first sale. It is, and that's why it's called a loss leader funnel. But after 45 days, that captured sale statistically will return a positive ROI. It will bring you back a positive income. Okay? Now, this is what we're here to talk about. This is what we mean when we say working from home for a residual linear income. So then you've got the break-even funnel. This is what most people strive for. The break-even funnel is a funnel where you optimize your ad campaign to the point of where statistically you're spending the same amount within a 15-day time frame. You're making as much back in 15 days as you are spending on day one. Anywhere from 0 to 15 days, is considered a break-even funnel. A profitable funnel is where you're making more in a day than you're spending in the same day. That's a profitable funnel. Then you have the break-even funnel, which is a 0 to 15 day cycle, and then you have a loss leader, which is 16 to 45 days. Right? How many of y'all know how diapers work in the store? How many of y'all know that grocery stores sell diapers at a loss to get you in the door to buy formula, to buy pacifiers, to buy bottles, to buy bottle cleaners, and everything else? And when you take the whole baby package and you put it together, the grocery store makes a profit. But how many of you would be surprised if I told you that a grocery store only makes a profit 7 months out of the year, and each month the profit is only realized on the 28th day of the month? That's how narrow the margins are in a grocery store. It takes them 28 days in a month to get to the point of profitability. The last 3 days of the month is where they make their profits. If there is any weather event, if there is any social event, if there is any kind of catastrophic event, it will take 90 to 120 days for that grocery store to return to profit. So think about that. Those of you who live in temperamental climates, those of you who live in hot spots, those of you who live in cold spots, think about that. Every time it snows and the roads shut down, it sets the grocery store back by 2 to 4 months. That's what it means to be stable, to be solid, to have that passive income, right? This is what we're talking about with diversification. This is why we're talking about this. This is why you have 7 income streams if your goal is to become a millionaire. That's why you have it. That's why you're doing it this way. Because if this particular marketplace has some catastrophic news event, it's not going to capsize your boat. It's not going to be the end. Okay? Putting all this together in how you're doing it is the answer to what you're seeking. You are looking for more independence. You are looking for more time. You are looking for more freedom. Getting a linear income with a linear residual income is what you are looking for. Now, is that insurance sales? Yes, that is a linear residual income. Stockbrokers, same story. Attorneys, same story. Authors, same story. Web designers, web owners, same story. Affiliate marketers. If you shop around for things that have a residual income, you are trading your marketing time for residual linear income. The ROI on a linear residual income is exponentially larger than a true linear income. Now, as you're building that cash on hand resource, then you're going to start leveraging capital to create more income in a truly passive residual income. Is that buying a house? Is that buying a commercial building? Sure, that is passive residual income. Is that buying internet traffic? Yes, that is, provided you're monetizing it on the back end properly. That is a passive income. Buying data, buying and owning data, is that a residual income? Provided you're leveraged properly? Yes, it is. Is buying gold? Yes, it is. Is buying silver? Yes, it is. Is buying Bitcoin? Yes, it is. This is all passive residual income. As these assets are appreciating, you have people who are acquiring income-producing assets based on equity growth and based on dividend yield. These are the only two constructs of income-producing assets that you can possibly have. So if you can find one that is equity, that is improving equity and has a dividend, you're at the apex of your passive income. What is that? That is Premier Properties. That is, presently one would argue that is Bitcoin. Presently one would argue that is natural gas and oil producing land. That is prime real estate. These are assets that will build equity and generate residual cash flow. That's what you're looking for. That's how wealth is built. It's not built by spamming and jamming on Facebook. But you can make a linear income with a residual payout to get you to the point of investing in income-producing assets that build equity and pay dividend yields. That's what we're here to show people how to do. So it doesn't matter where they are. It doesn't matter what they're doing. It doesn't matter what opportunity they're involved in. None of that is relevant to why they should or shouldn't do this. You're here to show them how they can diversify and get out of the rat race they're caught up in. Make sense? Fantastic, guys. Fantastic. Now, I want to talk a little bit about something very, 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 very important. Very important, guys. The wealth plan is one of a kind. We are the only ones out there who are presenting all of the financial strategies needed to build wealth in the 4 largest wealth-producing arenas: precious metals, real estate, internet traffic and data, and cryptocurrency. We're the only ones. Remember that. But it's time to take action. It's time to get moving. It's time to look in the mirror and say, I am ready to change, and I'm going to start my transformation. And I'm going to do it now. I'm not going to do it tomorrow. I'm not going to do it next week. I'm not going to wait till New Year's Eve to make this resolution. I'm going to do it now. Right now. That's what I want you to take from this. That's what I want you to remember. Until you make that decision, nothing in your world is going to change. Nothing is going to be different. Now, if you're in the online, in the online health space, the online MLM space, the online attraction marketing space, you've made a commitment to help other people. If you're not delivering this information, whether it's on this platform or not, if you're not teaching this to your people, you have really missed the banner under which you fly. And you need to take stock of that. And I know this is hard for a lot of people to hear, but the reality of it is, if you're here to help people, you need to help people. If you need help, ask for it. But when you ask for it, act on the advice that you're given. Take action. Follow the steps. Embrace the system. Become part of the culture. Become a product of the product. Because there isn't a one of you out there who hasn't heard this. There isn't a one of you in this entire industry that you're going to come across who has not heard Eric Thompson talking about you are in charge of your destiny. You're never going to find someone who's never heard Zig Ziglar say, fear is false expectations appearing real. Nobody's going to say they've never heard these things. Nobody's ever going to hear, you're never going to find somebody who say, you know what? Nobody ever told me I could change my future. You're never going to find that person. You're never, ever, ever, ever going to find the person who says, wait, whoa. You mean I can make a decision about my future? You're never going to meet that person. But the people who make the decisions versus the people who talk about making the decisions are the ones who succeed and the ones who fail. You have got to be an inspiration. You have got to be that factor. You have got to be the driving force, the guiding light, the hope, the rock, the salvation, the answer that these people are looking for. Embrace that belief. Know that's who you are. Be that person. Because you do have the answer. And whatever you do, don't quit being that person because somebody said, you know what, it's not for me. You're just not ready. Just because they haven't received the vision of the possibility of self-actualization does not mean you have not. Does not mean it is not attainable for you. It does not mean that you haven't found an answer. It doesn't mean that you're not ready. It doesn't mean that you are not on your path. So I want you to remember that. This is your path. Now you're going to encounter people on your path. And they're going to be people who understand what they're doing. And they're going to be people who don't understand what they're doing. They're going to be people who care about what they're doing. They're going to be people who don't care about what they're doing. They're going to be people who would be perfectly content to binge watch 8 seasons of Sons of Anarchy over 4 days, sitting on the couch, drinking Budweiser, eating pizza delivered by Domino's in their underwear. They're perfectly content to do that. That is not who you want to talk to. That is not who you're looking for. You are looking for someone who genuinely understands what wealth is. And that starts by asking the question, what is wealth? And invariably, every single person you come across is going to say, well, wealth to me, I have yet to come across somebody who has answered that question with absolute certainty, wealth is. They always will put the existential to me in their answer. Why? Because they don't genuinely have the confidence to be wealthy, or they would be wealthy. This is what you have to fire up in them. This is what you have to motivate in these people. This is what you have to make them understand they're already wealthy, financially wealthy. And you do that simply by explaining to them the difference between money and wealth. What is wealth? It's a relationship of time to money. It's measured in days, not dollars. If you have $1 in your pocket, you have a measure of wealth, probably about a minute and a half. If you have $100, you have a minute and a half times 100. These are the constructs that you have to embrace. You have to know. You have to absolutely embrace them. You have to believe them. You have to know them. You have to be them. And this is so hard for so many people to change from the modicum of money to the modicum of wealth. Your goal is not money. That's how people grow old, paying bills, and die. That's not what you're here for. You're here to seek time, to seek freedom, to experience life, because it's not a dress rehearsal, people. It is not a dress rehearsal. You have got to make it a commitment. You have got to make it a point to understand what path you're on versus the path you want to be on. What path do you want to be on? Do you want to be on the rat race path? If you do, hey, God bless you. Because it takes all people. A society cannot exist with a 100% investor rate. It will never work. Somebody's got to grow the food. Somebody's got to maintain the road. Somebody's got to police the environment. Somebody's got to protect us from fires. We've got to have a defense. We've got to have all of these little worker bees making our societies, whether you are in Europe, whether you're in Australia, whether you're in Asia, whether you're in the United States, it doesn't matter where you are. Remember that blueprint thing I was talking about? A CEO from McDonald's can run Merrill Lynch. Societies are the same. Countries are the same. Nation states are the same. You have a finite percentage of people who hold the wealth because they understand that by leveraging capital, they can sustain themselves in a society that is dependent upon money as a transfer of value. Being a transfer of value is how you pay your rent, how you pay your mortgage, how you buy your food, how you get your clothes, how you get to and from, how you go on vacation. These are the things that's money and transference. That's not wealth. Wealth is being able to go on vacation whenever you want to, and your money valuation is growing whether you're sitting on a beach in Pango Pango or you're sitting at your desk looking at the next opportunity. You know, a lot of people in this industry make fun of people with shiny ball syndrome. The reality of it is there are two people who look at shiny balls. There are people who look at shiny balls and they act on what they see with conviction, dedication, perseverance, and a solid commitment to a finite timeline to genuinely test that shiny ball as a lucrative investment. And the people who are looking for immediate gratification and an instant solution, a magic bullet, a silver bullet, to absolutely kill the werewolf that is the debt collector at their door. There are two people you're going to run into. You're going to run into people who understand this and people who don't understand this. Now, there's nothing wrong with looking at shiny balls. That's called being open-minded. But understand what you're looking at. Know if what you're looking at is legal or illegal. Look at what you're looking at to know whether it's sustainable or unsustainable. Look at what you're looking at with an objective lens as an investor, as someone who understands the power of capital, who understands the value of time. Not just the value of money, or not just the value of time, but more specifically, the value of time to money and money to time. When you can weigh all of those, and you have a construct and a base understanding of what makes things that you see online legal or illegal, ethical or unethical, real or unreal, sustainable or unsustainable, at that moment, you have now become what we would call a savvy online investor. This is what I hope to convey to you. This is what I hope to teach you. This is what I talk about on a consistent basis. The litmus test for any opportunity to get involved in. Is the comp plan sustainable? How many of y'all remember this? Is the comp plan sustainable? How long have they been in business? How many businesses have the owners been involved in the last 10 years? Right? These are the questions that you need to be looking at. These are the things you have to be looking for. This is what you have to ask yourself. More importantly than all of that, look at the track record of who you're getting involved in, and do markets tend to follow this person, or does this person tend to follow markets? Making sense? Everybody with me on this? Great. Now, with all that in mind, ask yourself this question. How long will it take you to find 10 people that this will make sense to? How long will it take you to find 3, 5, and then 10? Write it down. Make a commitment to finding those people. How do you find those people? You ask them. Are you open-minded enough to look at online opportunities and strategies to build wealth? I'm not asking you to leave anything. I'm asking you to maximize what you're currently involved in. I'm not asking you to give up on what you're doing. I'm asking you to double down on it. I'm asking you to look in the mirror and make solid commitments and convictions to your success plan, to your success imprints, to your daily patterns. I'm not looking to replace what you're doing. I'm looking to augment it. I'm looking to enhance it. I'm looking to get you to a point of viable millionaire status. Do you have at least 7 diversified income streams of, at the very least, linear residual income streams? 7 of them. Do you have at least 4 passive income streams? Truly passive. If you don't, and you're not on a plan, if nobody's talked to you about how to do this, and nobody's shown you how to do this, there's nothing more for us to talk about. Here's my link. I will see you on the 9 o'clock show. And if you are hearing this for the first time, and this is your first 9 o'clock show, then welcome. I hope this hasn't been too much for you. Guys, I want to thank you all much for coming out for the 9 o'clock show. Remember, wherever you go, there you are, and there is no escape. We will see you all tomorrow night, same bat time, same bat channel. Ciao. Y'all are clear.
They did it again, Jared.
What's that?
2016 did it again.
Yeah, I heard Carrie Fisher's mom. 2016 is a serial killer. I have just firmly decided 2016 is a serial killer.
Tony had to get off the train, so he had to get off the call as well.
No worries.
He might just be a little late.
No worries. So I was trying on a different show tonight. What'd y'all think? More of
You went to the camera.
what's that?
I don't know what you were looking at, but you were not looking at the camera.
I had notes to make sure that I covered everything I wanted to cover.
Okay, that makes sense.
So, and I got through all of it in less than an hour, so I'm really happy about that.
It was a good call.
Thank you. What'd you think, Shauna? If the calls are patterned like that, do you think that would be? Do you guys think that would be apropos for a prospecting call? That format that we followed?
I think that's got everything in it. Definitely.
But is it unique enough? Is it unique enough to bring people back daily?
I think so. As a prospecting call, it might be a little long.
What do you think, Shauna? I'm not sure what that means.
Okay. It's in a message. She agrees with me.
Ah, okay. Jeffrey, what do you think?
I don't think you're going to get a reply there.
Who do you guys think? Cap it at 25, 30 minutes?
I think that would be ideal.
That was right at 40.
I thought it was 45, but that's just.
Well, the intro motivation was six and a half minutes and started right at 9 o'clock. So I started at about 8 after 9.
And I had to run after my dog, who got out the door while Kane was trying to get Henry out for his physio walk. I think probably 20, 25 minutes is ideal. Because then it kind of, it allows people to say, look, you know what, it's less than half an hour. You know, if you've got 20 minutes, if you can find 20 minutes, just have a listen to it. And if it goes over 5 minutes, nobody's going to have any issue with that. I don't think I will anyway. I wouldn't. What are you thinking, Darren?
Well, I'm thinking finishing this platform tonight is mission critical. And I'm not sure where to start the rewrite process because I can't reconcile this conflict that I get to in the code. And it's frustrating as hell. And it literally is the last. I mean, basically, it's the last component. I mean, the budgeting ties into the account matrix. The account matrix ties into the bill matrix. The bill matrix ties into the credit report matrix. The credit report matrix ties into the debt matrix. The debt matrix ties into the letters and disputes and communications correspondence. And all of that has an overarching parent structure inside of bank statements, which I've pulled out of the system because I can't make the upload work without breaking the server without breaking the server security variables. So I've had to pull that out. So you can't upload bank statements yet. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to get that done. But that's not really mission critical. That's just kind of an overarching honest block, keeps an honest man honest kind of thing. You say this is what you're spending, but your bank statements reflect something different. With a bank statement, it matches up to the
compares the two and says, or, hey, yay, you got it right, kind of thing. But I can't get the upload to go up without compromising server security. So that's a non-starter for me. I've gone to great lengths to encrypt the data that you guys are plugging in to make sure that even if the servers are hacked, all they're going to get is what looks like 1ZA35294 semicolon exclamation point 00431259. It's basically a string of 3,000 odd characters per data value stored. The only way to unlock that is by logging in through Facebook, which basically takes your Facebook ID and generates a hash that's unique to you and your Facebook ID, and then plug that into the timestamp of when your session was last expired. And never mind.
How about
I'm going to
responsibility of other people and let them know that their success or failure actually depends on their own sense of integrity. Make that an honesty box feature. Let them know they need to reconcile this manually.
I'm not sure I understand.
Well, it's obviously really difficult at the moment to get that feature into the program. I mean, let's face it, if they're not looking at their bank statements, if they don't know what they've got and what they haven't got and where their money's going, it's going to make no difference.
Touche.
This is to help them get their credit in order. It's not to hold their hand, plug in a dummy, and change their nappy for them. They've got to have an element of accountability to themselves. And it's a feature that can be added later as a bonus when it's sorted out, as a surprise feature when it's sorted out, and the people who are paying attention will see it. But why do your own head in right now when there's a product that
like I said, it's overarching, and to remove it is going to require massive rewrites, which will alleviate the conflicts I'm having on the front side, but it's a lot of work to pull it out to make it work. I've got a picture in my head of what I want this to be, and I made a lot of compromises, and I capitulated to a lot of people about what Traffic Tsunami was going to be, and I paid the ultimate price for it. Now I know what the market needs, what the market's looking for, and getting this finalized, getting this finished, and getting this out to market time in the next couple of days, because I started the ball down the road because I thought I was in the home stretch, and I was plugging along and everything was going fine until I went to go and finish, and the domino fall all the way down was
right,
catastrophic.
it's not the standalone.
Well, it can be. That's not the point.
It's hard to get it out. It's hard
I've got close to 90 files to go and modify to extricate functions. So,
wow.
Maybe it's a night, maybe it's a night and a day. I mean, it's close. I was hoping to have it figured out and finalized tonight, and I thought I had it. And I worked and I worked and I worked and I worked and I worked. I almost had it last night, and I didn't quite get there. And it's just, it's a lot.
The layperson doesn't understand the technicalities of what you're doing. For them, it's just click this, click that, click the other, type this, type that.
Well, the biggest problem business owners have with developers is conveying what their product image is to their developer, because typically developer minds are very linear right-brain people, and business owners and entrepreneurs are typically very left-brain people.
Oh, you're totally confused then, aren't you?
Well, the other thing is, I'm both, and
Exactly.
that's a function of brain injury when I was a child. But I'm able to, with my understanding of code, and albeit I've gotten very rusty over the last year in a lot of my coding. I've gotten very rusty, but I have an idea in my head of what I want. And over the last year, there have been some major changes to PHP, to jQuery, to JavaScript, to CSS. And there are a lot of things that have been deprecated that don't exist anymore that I'm finding out the hard way. There's a lot of new things out there that do a lot of new things that I've never heard of that I'm learning how to implement because they really give what we're doing a very fresh look. And it's a lot. So, I am sorry I am not there yet, ladies and gentlemen. I am sorry.
Why don't we let you get back to doing what you do best?
All right, guys. Well, is there any questions? Anything I can answer? What we went over tonight, or what's going on, or? Anyone?
No.
All right, guys. Y'all have a good one. See y'all tomorrow.
Thank you.